Welcome to Gospel and Culture. As always, I'm your host, Justin Bilson, and we're here with one of our teaching pastors, Ben Parkinson. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, man. So good to be here.
Glad you're here. Hey, so our question today is, what is gospel in culture?
Yeah, so really we wanted to launch a video series to help supplement what we're teaching on Sunday mornings in a different way. A lot of times we know that as we want to preach expositionally through the scriptures, it's good for us to preach through books of the Bible, to preach through parts of the scriptures that would tell us to preach something, talk about something that we may not always choose to talk about. It's good a lot of times let the Bible tell us what to say instead of us always going to the Bible to answer certain questions for us. At the same time, we know when we do that, because we do that a lot here at Fellowship, that we don't always get to speak into certain cultural issues that are happening in the moment. Because we may be in the middle of a series and we don't want to interrupt that for some reason, but at the same time there may be something going on that we want to speak to culturally. And so really our desire in this series is to create a vehicle and an avenue to be able to shepherd our body and anyone else who wants to come along and listen when it comes to answering questions that may pop up in the news, questions that we may hear people talking about around our church, or just things we know we need to address. So that's kind of our hope and prayer in this whole video series, is to have a different vehicle to be able to teach our body on cultural issues biblically from that standpoint. Now what we realize when we talk about doing that is that people, when they come to something like this to watch a video, they get it through their social media feed, or they get it emailed to them, or they come to a website and check it out. They don't always have 35 minutes to watch a sermon series, right? And so we really want to commit to making these videos somewhere around 5 minutes long, maybe a little under, a little over, depending on the topic or the question. But our desire really is for you to be able to trust when you hit play, you're going to get about a 5-minute answer to some culturally relevant question that you may have. So that's our hope in that. Obviously, we can explore these issues in deeper ways through sermon series, like our Gospel and Culture sermon series, and we'll do that from time to time. Or on our Fellowship Talks podcast. Sometimes we have longer conversations about things like this you can go and listen to. But we wanted you just to be able to trust, man, I need a quick answer to a question, 5 minutes, maybe something that a coworker has asked me, my family's been talking about, and I just want to kind of hear about it. You can go there and get it.
That's great. I mean, I'm excited. I know I'm hosting, get to be a part of it, but I'm excited about these questions that we get to dive in. But speaking of that, where do the questions come from? Are these questions that the teaching pastors pick out? Are they questions that the elders decide? Where do the questions come from?
Yeah, so we'll obviously front load it with a couple of questions up front for people when they come here to already be able to see some things they can listen to and watch and get a feel for what this is all about. But our hope, our desire is for it to come from people sending questions in, either from our church, or if people, discover the website or someone shares it with them and they come and check it out, to be able to submit their own questions. We want to answer the questions that people are asking, not just the things that we think are important. So our hope would be that it'd come through people emailing their question in. You can do that to gospelinculture@fellowshiponline.com. You can see that there on the webpage. Or we also have a form you can fill out right there on the webpage where you can ask a question. What we want to do is begin to get those questions from the people in our church or otherwise and begin to answer those. That'd be our desire.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. I'm excited about it. I hope you are. Thank you again for sharing. This has been great. And so today we know what the Gospel and Culture series, video series, is going to be. So again, it's been shared. If you are interested and want to send in a question, please email us at gospelandculture@fellowshiponline.com. Also, you can subscribe as well to get these videos constantly as we release them. And please do us a favor. Follow us online at Fellowship AR so that you can get information about when these videos come out, and you can also share them with family and friends, because we want to reach as many people as we can for God's glory through these videos. So thank you again for watching Gospel and Culture. We'll see you next time.